Today's show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Working from home, protect your sensitive data with an extra layer of security at expressvpn.com/inside. Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It's weekend roundup time. Guys, the shortages of PS5s not going to get better anytime soon, very sadly. Sony has told analysts that the shortages are expected to continue for a long time into next year, in fact. Sony executive Hiroki Totoki told analysts recently, "I don't think demand is calming down this year, and even if we secure a lot more devices and produce many more units of the PlayStation 5 next year, our supply won't be able to catch up with demand." Now, you might have remembered that they predicted that this would all kind of ease up by the spring or the summer of this year, but the reason why, and this is affecting a lot of electronics right now, the global shortage of semiconductors. The other big consoles are being affected too. The Switch, it's a bestseller. It's already sold more than 84 million units. That's insane. But recently, Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa said they can't make as many as they would like, and that there is an increasing sense of uncertainty about their production capabilities. Microsoft also been feeling it with the Series X. Xbox head of gaming services Ben Decker told Games Radar he's happy with the launch of the Series X and S, calling it their best ever, but he added he wishes we had more supply, but we're working on it all the time. As for the PS5, it's off to a good start sales-wise. Even despite the shortages, it sold 7.8 million units as of the end of March. NPD Group said that is the fastest selling console in US history during that first 5-month period. As for the semiconductor shortage, why is it happening? Well, to be brief, it's because demand is outstripping supply, and that's because chips are in everything now. They're in cars, they're in toasters, they're in toothbrushes, so they're just more and more products that need them, and there's not enough to go around. Samsung said recently that the chip shortage is hitting television and appliance production. LG also said the shortage is a risk for them. What does that mean? Analysts say that means we will either continue to see shortages like we are with consoles, or the prices are just going to go up, or both, like we're seeing with all these scalpers. Speaking of scalping, if you wonder if it's still going on, yes it is. And how bad is it? Well, one site claims it has resold more than 100,000 PS5s, of course at a markup. The site StockX has been selling PS5 disc versions for about $800 and $741, kind of on average for the digital versions. Don't buy from scalpers. I know some of you will, but don't do it. They are the scum of the earth, and let's put them out of business soon. All right, we'll get to the rest of the stories in just a second, but first, guys, let's talk about Blue Chew. It has been a hell of a year, guys. Feels like we've all aged 12 years over the last 12 months. I feel like I've aged 100 years. You might be feeling your age more than you used to, especially in the bedroom. But guess what? It's time to snap out of it. That's where Blue Chew comes in. What's Blue Chew? It's a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets combat all forms of ED. They can help men gain the extra confidence when it's time to perform. It's an online prescription service, no visit to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy, none of that stuff you want to do. You can just do it online. You can talk about all that stuff online the way God intended. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. We got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew for free when you use our promo code ROUNDUP at checkout. That's bluechew.com, promo code ROUNDUP to receive your first month free. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the show. We appreciate it, Blue Chew. All right, bad news for pirate fans. And who isn't a pirate fan, really? Skull and Bones delayed again. I know, it's a shocker. Ubisoft officials made the announcement in a recent earnings call saying the game will now be released in 2022/23. Chief Financial Officer Frederic Duguay said, "We strongly believe in the team's creative vision, and they have been given an increasingly ambitious mandate for the game. Production, led by Ubisoft Singapore, has been advancing well over the past 12 months, and the promise is better than ever." You might remember Skull and Bones. It's a standalone game based off the ship combat in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is really awesome. That was announced at E3, 2017, and it's the first one from Ubisoft Singapore studio that they're leading it. It was originally scheduled for a late 2018 release, but has now been delayed, obviously, for 4 consecutive years. So, 2018, 2019, 3 to 4 years, whatever. Speaking of Ubisoft, they also said during their earnings call that they are going to be less reliant on AAA games going forward and focusing more on high-end free-to-play games. Boo. Ubisoft Chief Financial Officer, again, Frederic Duguay, whose name I'm butchering, sorry Frederic, said they are moving on from their previous commitment of releasing 3 to 4 AAA games per year, and they said, "We are building high-end free-to-play games to be trending towards AAA ambitions over the long term." So they want to make their own Genshin Impact, I believe. One of their analysts later claimed on Twitter that basically that meant that free-to-play games are becoming a larger share of the revenue pie as opposed to replacing traditional games like Assassin's Creed. The analyst added, the content mix is expanding, not changing. A good comp is the evolution of Call of Duty since Warzone. So there you go. The studio behind the recent Gears of War games is working on multiple new projects. In a blog post, the coalition said it is shifting its resources to next-gen development using Unreal Engine 5, and it's not just making a direct sequel to Gears 5, but developing on Unreal Engine 5 for multiple new projects in the coming years. Bad news, though, they said that shift to the new engine will take a while. It's going to take a lot of resources. Specifically, they said shifting to a new engine is a big undertaking, so we want to be clear, we will not be announcing any new projects or titles for some time. So setting expectations, though, that's good. Valve boss Gabe Newell dropped a very interesting hint, a little tidbit recently about the future of Valve games. During a panel in New Zealand, he answered questions from the crowd when asked, will Steam be porting any games on consoles or will it just stay on PC? He replied, you will have a better idea of that by the end of this year. Whoa, and then the crowd they did the ooh, and he went on to say, and it won't be the answer you expect. You'll say, aha, now I get what he was talking about. Now, they have, of course, Valve games have been ported to console in the past. Orange Box, Left 4 Dead series. Most obvious choice, you would think maybe Half-Life Alyx for PlayStation VR, but who knows? It'll be good. All right, time for a 5-second review. It's kind of like Groundhog Day, except when Bill Murray wakes up every day, aliens are just eating his face off instead of listening to Sonny and Cher. I'd prefer the aliens. All right, let's talk about the games coming out next week. First up, Days Gone. Ride and fight into a deadly post-pandemic America. Play as Deacon St. John, a drifter and bounty hunter who rides the broken road, fighting to survive while searching for a reason to live in this open-world action-adventure game. It comes to PC May 17th. Leisure Suit Larry, wet dreams dry twice. No obstacle will keep Leisure Suit Larry away from his beloved faith, not even the wild and untamed islands of Kalalua. These lovely island ladies can only distract him for so long as his heart's compass only points in one direction. Faith, because I got faith. It comes to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch May 18th. Never Yield. Survive a futuristic Tokyo-style Detroit in this 3D runner that tells the story of Wally, who has uncovered the evidence that can change his city forever. Explore a game world with a dope-tastic soundtrack. It comes to PC and Switch May 19th. Backworlds is a multi-dimensional puzzle platform game where you explore by painting. Move between two parallel worlds, each with its own unique set of properties, using your brush to flow seamlessly from one to the other. This sounds like Epic Mickey. Solve environmental conundrums by using each world's physical properties to your advantage and use your own creativity to craft original solutions to the game's puzzles. What if I'm not creative? Then I guess I'm screwed. It comes to the Switch May 20th. Just Die Already is an old people mayhem sandbox game created by the designers of Goat Simulator. You're old and angry. Check and check. And you've just been kicked out of your retirement home. That's definitely going to happen to me. How will you survive in a world that wants you to just die already? It comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch May 20th. That one hit a little too close to home. Lacuna, a murder, a hack, a bombing. All it takes to plunge the solar system into war unless you do something about it. Help CDI agent Neil Conrad make a string of increasingly difficult decisions in this modern dialogue-driven adventure set in a gorgeous 2D sci-fi noir universe. It comes to PC May 20th. Mayhem in Single Valley. In this fast-paced, puzzle-loaded action-adventure, you'll juggle housework, zombie hordes, family dinners, and radioactive squirrels. Oh, and you'll have to prevent the end of the world while keeping everyone from finding out it was all your fault. That's like when you break something in the kitchen and nobody saw, and you try to put it back together and just act surprised when your mom finds it. It comes to PC May 20th. Of Bird and Cage is a unique metal album presented through a 2-hour-long story-driven game. Play music in a brand new way, featuring famous artists like Ron Bumblefoot Thou, ex-Guns N' Roses. Is that the guy with the bucket covers? No, that's Buckethead. Rob Vanderloo, Rudd Jolie, and many others. It comes to PC May 20th. I kind of burped when I said that. Rust. Oh, Rust. The only aim in Rust is to survive. You know it is, it's Rust. Overcome struggles such as hunger, thirst, and cold. Build a fire, build a shelter, kill animals, protect yourself from other players. It comes to the PS4 and the Xbox One May 20th. Knockout City. Team up and duke it out with rival crews in Knockout City, where epic dodgeball battles settle the score in team-placed multiplayer matches. Throw, catch, pass, dodge, and tackle your way to dodgeball dominance. It comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch May 21st. And finally, the one you've all been waiting for, Miitopia, guys. Cast your friends, family, or anyone else you choose in a comedy-filled adventure to bring down the face-stealing Dark Lord. Create and customize Mii characters, assign them roles, and watch them come to life. Laugh along as your best friend and dear old grandma team up in the fantasy adventure of a lifetime. It comes to, where else? The Switch, May 21st. That's all I got for you this week, guys. I hope you're having a great weekend. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.